someone high ground.
More
listen, boys, listen.
Did I miss a point where like Slacks was trying to hardcore back complexity before game 1 or something?
No, we actually tried that.
No,
Okay.
he
Yeah.
really didn't.
I think they got it in them.
Now
I
listen,
feel like Slacks has something on the line here when it comes to complexity not
I
losing
put a lot
this
of
match.
Arcanas on this. If they're watching, keep strong, boys.
EHOME did all right, but complexity
Not great.
definitely got this.
Okay, but how can Complexity? You guys were with me before the match started. You said that they had a chance. Do you still feel that way?
Yes.
Okay.
I think it's gonna be tough coming into this one because that matchup between Monkeys and Old Eleven. I do think that is kind of the focal point here, and EHOME has been prioritizing the off lane already. Just in all the games are playing online right now. So the fact that you're getting that prioritization and then into what is a pretty uneven matchup. Let's be frank here. I mean, he just dumpstered him with Tidehunter against Batrider.
all right, now team, I know we're all revved up to fill from this opening we had today. We got a draft. They're already
We
a
do.
pick in. Let's get into this thing.
Oh no!
All right.
Ho, ho!
Oh Jesus!
Whoa.
Help!
So
Same exact
Warlock
bands.
LC again for EHOME, and you are right, Grantavius. Those are the exact same bands, from the
And
exact
same
same
sides.
teams,
Yeah.
same sides, and this time.
Same picks too.
Yeah.
So yeah, EHOME had first pick both times.
Yep.
Yeah.
Park City wanted the same thing. This time, who'd they second pick last time? Batrider and
It was the Marana.
Marana, yeah. So they
right.
go with Kunkka instead. Smart.
All their bands are the same suit for now as well.
Now, how does Kunkka shape up against Legion Commander? I mean,
As a one-on-one matchup?
No,
or
I'm
as a
just
hero?
saying, like,
Boat's always good.
yeah.
It's okay because you've got Torrent on a stationary target with duel. You have Boat as well to be able to prolong the survivability of that other hero, plus an easy nuke on the Legion Commander. I think it's also Legion Commander is pretty dependent on being able to get the right kind of initiation, and I think Kunkka is a pretty good hero to counter initiate really well.
The problem is, if it is, I mean, Cancel's the guy who plays mid-Kunkka a lot. If it is a mid-Kunkka, he's not going to be sitting in the back, like, positioning for that
That's
Torrent. Well, I mean, it could be Z-Freak. They're the one of the teams
I'm
that
hopeful
it could
that
just
it's
be either one.
Z-Freak.
Yeah,
I think
it'll
up
be
against the
better
Legion, it
support.
really is that good that you make them room for.
Yeah.
I actually am going to go with Grant and say it's going to be mid-cancel Kunkka, because at this point in time, you're one game away from losing to EHOME. I think you just play your strongest heroes.
Yep.
Yeah. That's fair too. We do have that
so-
shocker interaction too when it's a core Kunkka, right, with the Tidebringer?
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
0 cooldown.
Yeah, it's got bam bam.
Sweet Jesus.
Oh yes.
Yeah.
If he bought himself one of them taps swords, he could do 4 hits.
Do you mean to say the Echo Saber? Good.
Yeah,
sir?
the tap swords. You know.
That, but it,
Tap.
You know when you
It
go to the
wouldn't be a
club
Still
and then
only
you
get
give,
2
You
tides.
give
only
the
get
ladies
tap.
a little tap tap. That's what I call it. Tap sword. Tap tap, girly.
you still only get 2 Tidebringers.
And then you could hit 4 times. if you
But
do it.
Grant, what if she has those apple bottom jeans that I've
Oh,
heard kids talking about?
Indeed, the
Her?
apple bottom jeans.
You're gonna want to quad tap it.
You guys are ruining my panel.
I can't wait to go to a club with you, Slacks. This is going to be so much fun.
I learned how to dance.
Oh,
from
wow.
Hey-o! It's Anti-Mage for EHOME, and not even the 5th pick Anti-Mage, a 3rd pick, no less.
Yeah, I mean, we talked about the synergy between Kardel and Kunkka, especially if it is the core Kunkka, so that is pretty
Oh.
great, for sure. But now you have an AM and Legion Commander, so you've got the press the attack to remove that big blind, which is one of the most frustrating parts for playing against against Kardel right now, and
And
you
you'll
have
have-
AM, who's a Manta hero.
Yeah, I was going to say, you've got a lot of ways to deal with it.
Well, I like the Tiny pickup. I think the Tiny played great last game, despite what you people think. And I'm excited to see him again.
I think a better way to say that, Slacks, is he had a couple of good plays.
Screw that, he played great. You guys are all dummies.
So, but isn't like Kunkka kind of good against Anti-Mage with having the X marks the spot to pull him back? You know, that's like a hero that I could see teams picking against the
Yeah,
AM.
I think a lot of heroes are good versus AM, but then once you're AM with 6 items, nobody's good versus you.
That's fair.
That's the
a
problem.
fair-
Like,
no, it's
and
true.
If he free farms, then you're doomed.
Yeah.
But
You think
obviously,
that's-
Tiny Craggy's good.
Until
Right,
he
of
gets
course.
BKB, yeah.
Yeah, if he does. Usually as an anti-mage, you don't want to, but
Sometimes you
you're
have to,
forced
Grant.
Yeah.
And this is maybe a game for it, actually. Yeah.
This is one of the old classics. Keeper of the Light Tiny lane just always has that combo up. It's extremely hard to lane versus him. I like it this time. Batrider. No Tide this time. Depending if they prioritize Batrider, he should have a better game and Spirit Breaker again.
Birder is exceptionally good throughout his career at being able to take roaming for position heroes and be able to create a lot of space. And he's always successful. It's like how Seneko was always successful on the Winter Wyvern, and how he would rotate into the mid lane and just be a harassing force. Garter has that same kind of skill set in some ways, that he is incredibly good at being disruptive. He just does it on more roamers,
Like
where
one of
Seneko plays a
the
5
original
position.
bounty roamers even was like he helped pioneer that whole movement too.
Final bans on the way here. It's like EHOME looking for
Who knows?
another core, probably an
More
off
than
laner.
likely a core, yeah. It could be Legion off lane again, but could be
be.
middle, could be anywhere.
Yeah, hard draft to read. And for complexity, also some flexibility. Could be looking for a support, could be looking for a mid, all about where that Kunkka is going to go. Here's the mastermind, Kyle Friedman himself.
Motor mouth swindles. Look at him go.
Woo, he's got a lot to talk about, and I hope everybody on his team is listening to these wise words.
Why is his eyes shut?
Look how much he likes Windlace, Slacks.
Wow, that's a man that loves a magic wand. There he goes. Anywho,
Do you like magic stick slacks?
A Venoban.
Venomancer, wowee!
That is a wild 5th ban, though. We've seen very little love for Veno.
I think just EG pretty much at this point is
Yeah,
playing it.
Arteezy.
Yep. Teasy and Zai.
Has EHOME been playing any Veno? Oh, OD makes it to 5th ban. That's a good ban here.
Yep, so they think it is a support Kunkka, which
Yeah.
I think at this point it probably is. It'd be really hard to do
Well,
tiny and
They might be
Kunkka.
thinking it's more likely to support Kunkka, but I think banning an OD is just kind of safe,
Yeah.
you know?
I mean,
Especially for Zai.
really, complexity could be leaving this open. If an offlaner is picked up here and it's a mid-legion commander, maybe they feel comfortable running Kunkka.
Right.
5 seconds.
EHOME with plenty of time left here, though.
The mind games. It's like watching a game of chess where everyone only has pawns.
Wow. That's very interesting. I believe they call that checkers.
No. Because you can move 2 spots forward on your first move as a pawn.
That's true. A huge
Checkmate.
difference in these.
Checkmate indeed, sir. A tip, Mahoser. Well done. I've been tested. Alright. Hey, it's all checking.
And he
Sure is.
18, 0, and 10. That's a pretty good scoreline.
Yeah, he had a pretty good Morphling game last match.
I think that was just the lane he was in, especially with the Warlock just destroying
Shut up,
refraction.
dummy. Is it a Omni Knight
They
pick,
picked
I
Omni
hear?
Knight.
Woo-hoo-hoo!
They picked Omni Knight.
Let me tell you about why Omni Knight is good in this match.
Was
guys.
he a supporter and off lane?
That's going to be an off lane.
Why do you help him?
I
Great.
can't watch him suffer anymore.
He's great against a lot of these heroes. However, I will say, if Kardel can get the right kind of thing, if he waits for that mana leak after he repels somebody else, it can be devastating for the Omni Knight in this game. So,
Is this a Magnus game for complexity?
a Magnus.
There's 4 melee.
Probably a diffusal mid, right?
Fusel mid.
You need, like,
Yeah.
Natural diffusal carriers, boys.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think that's what you need.
I mean, Jug's gone.
No. That's not a natural diffusal builder.
Sure he
That's
is.
literally the most natural of diffusion.
Hell no.
builders.
He's got to go out of his way.
He goes Manta Diffusal pretty much every game.
That diffusal could have been a Agnum Scepter.
Yeah, that's the standard
But
Juggernaut build.
I'm talking about your Riki Marus. I'm talking about your Spectre.
I mean, we saw the Diffusal
Maybe they go
Weaver
Shadow.
yesterday.
Yeah,
for
just-
wings.
We get our core.
I don't know.
That's fair though. I mean, lots of
I just
synergy.
keep thinking it's a cancel Kunkka, and they're just gonna be like, I mean, look at the way they open, right? Like Monkeys Forever Bat Rider. That guy plays nothing but Bat Rider, and then you get a cancel Kunkka.
Hey.
It just feels like the opening was, let's pick our best heroes.
Shadow Demon.
That's
and-
what you said.
Oh, that's what he said. Oh, I'm sorry.
That's why it's so good.
I had an
oh,
idea
no.
here. Shadow.
Z-Freak, yeah,
All
Z-Freak. I think like Kunkka's like Z-Freak and Cancel's best heroes. That's the problem.
That's true.
They're both insane.
So it's a cancel Alchemist.
Do you think his Kunkka's better than his Earth Spirit?
Z-Freak. Well, now that Earth Spirit's kind of Garbo, yeah.
Yeah, I guess so.
They've seen some success with the Alchemist, though. I think like Tinker and Alchemist probably like 2 of the better ones I've watched Cancel and playing here lately with Complexity, and then with the Coddle as well. A lot of global map movement that can be available. Maybe get that started early between ganks with the Tiny or just pressuring lanes with the Alchemist.
Not so much a Diffusal carrier, though.
No, definitely not.
That aspect we were wrong about.
But at least you don't necessarily always have to have a Diffuser Blade, because the Diffuser Blade is like the important part for the mid game, but if you have better late game, you can still just outscale. And I think EHOME very clearly showed a weakness where they played sloppy and they let the game go on later than was absolutely necessary.
Yeah.
So maybe Complexity think this time around, if they have the better late game and EHOME make those similar kind of mistakes, they actually have a chance of coming back. Whereas last time they didn't. right? They didn't have heroes that could really scale. It's not like all of a sudden, like, oh, the Templar Assassin's behind at 25 minutes, but all of a sudden it's winning at 45.
That's always a fear with the Alchemist. But we've got to do predictions here before we get to the casters, guys. Slacks, are you switching it up?
No, I know when an Omni's going to win and when he's going to lose, and this one is a win for EHOME.
Pains me to agree with you, but EHOME.
Probably EHOME, but go complexity.
Yeah!
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Complex too, actually.
Why would
I'm not
EHOME?
sure how much the Omni Knight's gonna get in the off lane, so.
Yeah!
Gap.
I don't feel EHOME's looking that amazing, but I'll say EHOME.
Okay, very
Neat.
good. And with that, we'll see what Annie and Pudge have to say here about game number.
All right, thanks, Sayori. Very excited to see this game already. We've got a little bit of action underway. Old 11 going, trying to bop up Z-Freak here. Omni Knight pick, Purge. How you feeling about that?
Well, if Slacks was playing it, they would certainly lose, but this is old 11. He's a little bit better at Dota, so I think it's going to work out pretty well.
Why is he so gold?
There's some fancy thing going on with his immortal weapon, I think, and it gives him a halo, I guess? Or it's just a mistake, I'm not sure. I kind of like the Omni because Cole is still very burst heavy, especially with the tiny pick that they picked in the last game. They had some issues with that, so it can be good this game, definitely.
We're going to see a scuffle down at this bottom rune as no one is going to be going up on that top lane, so hopefully Moo can get this done. Again, we talked about Moo being a really great tiny player last game, getting a lot out of the lane. We'll see what he's able to do this game as the Horn is ticking down. Acid Spray out. Cancel trying to do what he can. Coming on from back in. Illuminate back in. Sylar going to get brought back. We'll be able to get out. Old 11 doesn't look like he'll be so lucky. Moo going to be getting the first blood there. Now Lanham going to be running away. Chase back into unfriendly territory. This should be a nice, easy follow-up kill for Complexity. Illuminate off the mark. Moo might still be able to find this. The Avalanche does connect, and the right clicks are going to be flying in. So all of a sudden, Complexity just starting out strong. There is going to be a 2-for-1 trade.
Yeah.
So EHOME get themselves on the board, but starting tiny out on the right foot.
Yeah, that was a little bit of mind games there from Cole. EHOME thought that they're going to be able to take that fight, but Cancel actually went for Acid Spray here, which changed everything, just because it's -4 armor,
too.
and the Illuminate, and the Torrent. They got hit by like 4 nukes, and they had minus armor advantage in the trades. Really well played there by Cole. They didn't get the bounty rune on Cancel for lots of extra gold, but it was about the kills, and they got the kills.
Whew, so that is definitely a different start than we were expecting, I guess.
Yeah.
I think we thought EHOME would just go in, have really, really strong lanes. Old Chicken once again on the off-lane aggressive Legion Commander. Very similar bottom lane from EHOME, but how are Complexity going to play this one differently?
It's gonna be about the same in a lot of ways, really. I mean, blasting out the wave like that is definitely one solution. The other good thing is that Moo got first blood, I believe, or he got a kill and an assist, so he's got boots really fast in his lane, which is massively going to change how well he does against these melee chasers. So even though they have Orb of Venom level 1, he already has a movement speed advantage, at least until Legion finishes his boots.
All right, back in the mid. Cancel. Do you think he's going to have trouble here going against the Warlock? Because we saw TA get stepped on last game.
He should have trouble, but the big difference, though, is that Alchemist is going to get Poor Man's Shield, so any right clicks are going to do less. Also, the hero has better base HP, I feel, and Acid Spray is also very good at allowing you to trade in advantage. Whereas for TA, you have to abuse things like Refraction to trade advantageously. The Alch can just drop Acid Spray on everything. He might get some of those last hits, and it's just going to naturally harass the AM as well as the Warlock while he trades the Warlock.
Yeah, and I mean, once Alchemist hits 6, that Rage is going to be pretty nice at keeping him healthy. There's a little bit of burst damage on EHOME, but most of it's just the raw right clicks doing the real deal to you.
I'm mostly worried in his case about Purify, because it does pure damage, and SB Charge disables. That's going to be the scary thing. If you can get Acid Spray off before the charge hits, this is scary now. Okay.
He's fine. They're just trying to keep him back, and again, Acid Spray onto 3, Z-Freak coming in. What do you think about the choice for Z-Freak to play the Kunkka instead of the Mirana here?
It's way better here in this game, just because of the fact that he can actually contribute to ganks at level 1. Torrent is much easier to land when someone's pressuring your ally than Arrow is. And he also has arguably better burst damage by the time he hits 6. The downside is that Mirana scales better in terms of teamfight impact in an easy way. 2 Starfalls you can land that, but Kunkka's a little harder. But Kunkka's lane pressure is far better, so I think this is going to be a much more even game compared to what we saw last game.
Yeah, once again, Monkeys Forever on the Bat Rider in the top lane, going against the Omni Knight this time instead of the Tide Hunter. How's that going to change up his pace? Because he had a really late Blink Dagger game 1.
It's definitely a very good lane that Omni Knight's going to be taking here. Just because with DJ Aura, he can easily harass Bat Rider. If Bat Rider tries to kill him, he can just cast Repel and remove the sticky. So in a lot of ways, Omni can kind of do whatever he wants in that lane. He's a little limited by mana, I guess. But I feel like as long as Bat Rider can go decently well for last hits, it'll be okay. But Omni's clearly wrecking right now, 14 and 10.
Yeah, he's doing really, really well. And the Anti-Mage, again, the sleeper here, he's just getting a ton of farm for himself. Sylar having a pretty successful lane, definitely going to be top of the last hit chart, and his net worth is going to start skyrocketing up as well. Now Swindle's a little bit more defenseless than he was on the Oracle. Under the tier 2 tower, nonetheless, they should still be able to get the kill. They get the Shadow Word off, and of course with the bash as well. That is more than enough damage. TP out, easy peasy, and Tiny can't find any
Zephyr get
follow-up.
him? Okay, he misses the Torrent. There's a chance. I mean, does Zephyr have boots? If he does, he could get this kill eventually, unless a charge comes. I mean, there's no charge on SB for 110. He doesn't have boots, but he has Windlace here.
He's got the axe.
Okay, they got him now for sure.
Yeah. Alright,
terrible.
Revenge of the Swindles going back in, and Zephyr picks up the kill. Nice little chunk of gold going to him, but Complexity still feel like they're getting hurted a little bit. Old 11, again, really successful lane on the Omni Knight, just second on the last hit chart right now.
Yeah, the denies is the big part, really.
Yeah.
It makes it hard for Bat, but he's got 3 points in his Firefly, so worst case, he can just use Firefly and nuke the wave rapidly if he needs to. Just gotta always be worried about Old 11 doing that.
Exactly what we talked about there. Now Monkeys is half health. He's trying to burn down the Omni Knight, but Omni doesn't really care too much.
It's more about the creep rate, really. Ooh, this is a bit bad for Old 11.
Oh, the charge gonna come in. Will stun up Garter. He can't walk through that avalanche move. He's getting low. Land him though. Unable to really follow up. It's going to be the Fatal Bombs doing a little bit of damage. Old Chicken getting healed, so no more blood in the bottom lane, but Ace is feeling a lot stronger for Complexity.
Yeah, it really is. That boots advantage makes a big difference here. Nice disable there on Sylar. Pressuring him is still very difficult, though. That's one big advantage that EHOME has in this game compared to the last set. One of their cores is naturally very magic resistant, so Z-Freak doing his best to try to get him to cancel Blink Daggers. Oh, bad for him.
This is not great. He's level 4. They really don't want to slow him down before he's level 6, but he doesn't have a choice. Warlock gets a nice easy kill. They take his stack as well. There might be a return kill coming in onto the Legion. They really do. Going to be tossing out the overwhelming odds.
So fast. Tossing 3.
No, he can't catch up.
They needed Vision. If they had a lane ward, or if the Swindles was farther forward, he could back to the creep, toss him in to get the kill, but they needed to get that. That was what they lost by the supports roaming to kill Alk, and they weren't able to kill the Legion.
I mean, this Anti-Mage, he's so scary in my book because he's not getting pressured right now. He's going in. Cancel's going to get locked down. He's just not as big as he could be, and Sylar is going to scale phenomenally into the late game. Is an Alchemist and Tiny going to keep up with that?
It's hard. Anti-Mage is a hero that actually does keep his net worth semi-close to Alchemist if he has an ideal game. But the issue is that they don't have late game kill potential on him. They've got great disables, but I feel like their damage types are almost all magic based. They've got Tiny magic combos, Kunkka magic combos, Batrider mostly magic. And Alchemist does have Acid Spray, but usually going Armlet into Radiance. Radiance is mostly magic, so I just feel like Anti-Mage is going to be kind of uncontested. They need to get some gold advantage here so they have the damage to kill.
Monkey is getting so low, but unfortunately, there's going to be nothing to follow up. Old 11 has to leave him be for now. He's going to be flapping back, trying to go in. Meanwhile, mid lane, Z-Freak gets a nice little sword there. It's going to be an X coming back in into the Acid Spray as well. So Garter is not dealing with as much armor, and the Illuminate sets up for a nice kill on the Alchemist.
Okay, so they get a good kill here. X really showing the value. Nicely played by Z-Freak to land the X, or sorry, to land the Torrent, and then X afterwards. Guarantees a kill in almost all cases. And how's Moo doing? Level 6 here at about 7 minutes. Slightly behind, but still has a kill advantage. 30 last hits on him. Not terrible, considering the pressure in the lane. This game feels definitely a lot like the first one, though. It's a lane advantage for EHOME, with Cole trying to catch up, but Cole's not as far behind, so maybe they can turn that into a victory this game.
Hopefully. I mean, we are only 7 minutes in, so we don't want to counter chickens before they hatch. Garter charging all the way in, just gets a nice little bop onto Moo, but he's going to go back to farming. That's just a nice, cheap way for Garter to get where he needs to be.
And maybe if he can force mana out of Moo, it'll do a lot as well, so every advantage they will gladly take. We'll see what Omni Knight goes for items, probably Arcane Boots any moment here, just to keep his team up on mana. I'm really worried about duels plus Purify. It's one of the best combos you can do, actually, with the Legion. I just feel like they're going to get a lot of kills in the mid game with the gank heroes they have.
Yeah, I mean, EHOME can start ganking pretty much any time now. How do you expect our Omni Knight to build?
Just mech or something like that. You could go like Vlad's, maybe Aether Lens. Kind of like that. Ooh, this would be a huge kill.
Oh, they're
got no mana though, he needs it.
Illusion Rune is going to be grabbed by our little Tiny, so he's sending in some more Tiny clones, but there's going to be Legion, the charge coming in as well. Moo could be in some serious trouble. He doesn't have his Avalanche, and looks like Sylar joining into the party. He does get out the little tread switch there, and oh gosh, they are going to be turning this around here. Old 11 might be in some trouble. He's going to go repel himself, and now there is going to be a kill onto the Tiny. Anti-Mage picks up that one, so starting that snowball nice and early. Oh, it's getting low. Z-Freak just doesn't have enough damage here. Destroyed by that Omni Knight Purify.
Yeah, it's very close. I was mostly criticizing Moo not going to Strength Treads there when the charge committed, but I guess he didn't see it coming. The combo almost killed the Omni Knight, but just not enough damage. Just having some mana issues and just some burst issues too.
This Anti-Mage is getting scarier and scarier, and the Legion Commander, it feels like she's even more impactful than last game right now.
Yeah, in some ways I agree. But we'll see how the duels come out here. Monkey, this could be really bad. You can't stop. Yeah, the brick does not stop Pudge anymore. Easy duel here.
Damn.
Kind of close.
He gets up the Firefly Guard.
Oh, the
a lot of damage, and there we go! It's gonna be a kill on both sides. Legion goes down though. Does she get her damage?
No, I don't think she did actually.
No.
She didn't give the damage. The Bat Rider is really the better question because Legion did die first. It was very close. They killed Legion first, but it was after the duel ended. Not the biggest loss. Bat Rider with plus damage is going to be happy, but not needed. I think the bigger thing is the fact that Legion died first. That's his first rotation. The fact that they killed him, he didn't get gold or experience for that fight, but his team did. That's a big advantage going towards Kunkka. And now Kunkka picks up 6 pre-9 or pre-10 minutes. He's actually the same level that Legion is. That's a huge advantage.
As Z-Freak's doing a great job rotating around. They do get a smoke gank off and easy illuminate onto the Omni Knight, and that's going to be some more experience for Moo. A lot of gold going the way of Kardel right there.
Yeah, Z-Freak not expecting the smoke to get broken there, but typical place for Anti-Mage to farm. He wouldn't have found anything anyways, maybe just set up for top. Just waiting to see if there would be a charge through. I think Z-Freak's movements have been really good so far. Swindles as well has been very impactful on his Kardel. Just showing up somewhere to throw in the 300 damage nuke can be enough for Tiny D to kill, so that's everything they needed to do.
Alright, Moo's saving up here. Is he going to go in for that Blink Dagger again, or are we going to see a variation?
I would definitely still go for a Blink Dagger. See what Moo's thinking about in terms of setting up a kill, but it's got to be careful. Getting the Blink is really important just because it will allow you, if your opponents or allies are channeling Illuminate, you can get those important 1 kills. Always got to be on Omni as well. Warlock can heal also, but it's not as bursty.
Bottom lane, again, this rotation from EHOME was scouted out.
It's going to be a boat combo. This should be really good.
There's going to be more TPs in as well. They've got the Avalanche Toss. Look at that damage coming in. The Legion just dropped, and now Monkey's Forever coming in. Nice flame break, and the Lasso is available as well. He's burning down. Can they lock him down for long enough? Yes, they can. Omni Knight is not going to be living through that engage. That's 2 dead. Complexity looking real strong now with a kill advantage.
That was so well done. And the X is really opening up all these possibilities. If Omni had been there a little sooner to put the repel on the Legion, it would have changed everything there. Because that was the first kill, obviously. But the fact that they get both kills there, it's amazing. And they didn't waste both either. Just perfect skill usage. Swindles has been very, very effective this game. Here comes the next combo mid. This could be huge if they get it.
Oh, Warlock, even with his heal on, it doesn't seem like he's going to be able to get out of this one there. And Alchemist picking up another kill. Very well played by Complexity. Down bottom, maybe he's going to trade onto the Bat Rider. He might be able to find this. Monkeys goes into the Firefly. They get the duel off, but it doesn't look like the damage is coming in quick enough here. And they're just going to chop him away. The duel not going to be successful. Monkeys able to fly through the trees. The tops went back in.
Oh,
and they get the Legion down as well.
Oh,
Charge
the
went back in,
avalanche.
and the Avalanche! Moo is suddenly all the way on top, and this is going to be a fantastic start for Complexity.
Yeah, they're actually doing everything they wanted to do last game, but the big difference is that I feel Z-Freak has a hero that actually gives him the ability to catch and get kills. He's not reliant on landing an arrow. And just the couple early rotations that he got here now, 4 points in X, that's a 10-second cooldown. And with all of these kills, they have the gold and the experience to actually pressure the Anti-Mage now. If they weren't this successful in the last couple of minutes, they wouldn't have the same tools, but now they're in an even game. And they have an Alchemist that's been farming this whole time.
Now, the one weapon EHOME still have, they've got this Anti-Mage that's free farming. He's doing really, really well for himself. He's got, decent amount of net worth here. Alc obviously on top because of the Greevil's greed, but we haven't really seen our Anti-Mage have a team fight impact yet, and won't see that for another 10 or so minutes.
Yeah, I mean, it's not even usually team fights that he participates in. It's ganks that are convenient for him to show up to, or hey, there's somebody completely out of mana. But all of Cole's heroes don't have that big of mana pools, so we're not even going to likely see Anti-Mage show up to a lot of these team fights, especially because of Kunkka. It's such a dangerous hero to play against because it counteracts Blink. And EHOME going to try to take a 4-man fight. They've got really good heroes for this, but the one that's super gimp is Legion Commander. He doesn't have a lot of farm smoke breaks, and they find it.
Tiny's double damage ends, so they're going to be going in onto Swindles. It's not a terrible target for Complexity to lose right now, and they get the information that the fight's going to be breaking out, and the rest of Complexity can get out right now. So, I mean, they lose Swindles, but they get a lot of vision, a lot of information on what's going on. Not going to do more with that just yet. There we go.
Z-Freak? I don't think so. But the ward's dead. I think Z-Freak's just going to try to delay this. His team gets out, but he TP's in. He can boat Torrent to the wave dies, and it kind of kills EHOME's ability to keep pushing.
Warlock going a little bit deep here, scouting around, looking for something, positioning up with the rest of his team. You're going to have the Legion coming in, dumping down the arrows, but Tiny looking to fight. There is going to be the toss up, a great old chicken back in the boat. Not going to be doing a whole lot of damage there, and it's not looking great. Another avalanche coming in, buying some time for complexity, but there's just too many EHOME heroes in the mix. Z-Freak going to be next on the menu here. X back, but there's nothing they can do to stop the damage coming in. So unfortunately, Tiny and Penta go down. Swindle's not able to finish off the Anti-Mage with that eliminate.
Yeah, they had to be there as 5. Maybe if they lassoed somebody that got that came behind the tower, but just winning that team fight was very low chance. So as long as they don't lose cancel here on this mid charge, they should be fine.
I think he's okay. Still got his chemical rage rocking out.
They blinding lighted to interrupt the charge. Nicely done. They just had to be 5 there. I think they maybe should have gotten behind the tower instead of TPing out. Cole had the right idea in mind, but it's just hard to set up an X combo on somebody that's diving into tier 1 if they also have repel. Because as soon as you land the repel, the X is cancelled.
So how's this Omni Knight pick been working out for EHOME? It seems like even with the Omni Knight, they're still losing really key cores in these fights.
It gave them a really good lane advantage, but since then, the fact that he died twice is kind of counteracted a lot of that. So now he's transitioning into I'm a farmed Omni Knight position, but he won't scale as well late game. And that's definitely a big problem. And Purify's a wonderful nuke, but they were hoping to have a lot more advantage in this at this stage in the game. They weren't reacting as well to some of those X-Torrent combos as they could have. Like right now, Cole is choosing to pressure the top lane. And they're not even that worried about the SB because they're not actually behind in the first place.
Tana getting very close to that Blink Dagger as well. That's going to be a huge piece of advantage coming in. And Monkey's Forever on his Bat Rider. He's getting pretty close to his Blink as well. Not going to see that 28-minute Blink, whatever it was. He may end up going down here, and that's all 200% of unreliable gold. He gets the lasso off. He's going to go for the TP, but they bring in the nuke. Omni Knight picks it up with his full Purify there.
Yeah, really good try with the lasso there. That was the one here that had a reliable stun. Other than Spirit Breaker, of course, with his guaranteed bashes when needed. This is pretty bad to cancel, though. His ultimate pickup here could keep him covered. He's got Radiance as well, so...
The rest of his team's nearby enough, but I think he's fine.
Yeah, and there's no SB ultimate either, so no guaranteed ultimate after that. Anti-Mage also has his. Good blast.
He's generally up his stun. Is he going to be able to get it off this time? He is going to be going in. Ends up with a stealth
they got the
stun.
X. I don't think they have Torrent, though. They'll have to use the toss to disable him.
They got him. He's fine. There we go. Starter will get chipped down low, and the Avalanche finishes him off. Nice work. Swindles, the combination with Moo is really working out. They're jiving.
Swindles is pumped, man.
He's got that energy. We were talking to him the other day, and he said he needs the energy, he needs that fire, that spirit. It seems like Complexity has found it in game number 2.
Fatal Bond's causing Tiny a lot of problems here. Hard to blink when you're always taking damage from creeps getting damaged. So I think it's time for Cole to actually back up. They got a lot of advantage out of this, got some important kills. Items they're still missing is the Blink Dagger on Monkey's Forever, but he's only about 300 gold away. It's a little bit delayed, but I think he's been creating some space. Pretty good KD on him as well. So despite the laning stage going so rough, I think he's still going to be able to contribute better than last game.
Yeah, I like the choice for him to go lasso first rather than waiting till level 8 or 9, just to be able to offer a little bit more to these team fights, because Complexity are playing a little more aggressive than we've seen in the past.
Yeah, they are. I think they're really taking what happened last game and playing off of it in a better way. They really have improved between game 1 and 2, and it's looking good for them as a roster, honestly. I mean, it's arguably one of the best teams here, EHOME, and the fact that Cole kind of looked within grasping reach last game, and now they are certainly within grasping reach, this looks fantastic for them. They really can win in the late game here with all the advantages.
Oh, Omni Knight walks into the Avalanche here. It's going to get X'd up. Old Chicken, though, is going to be moving in, and I think that's enough to deter Complexity.
Now, though, is the question. It doesn't last as long as it used to. But 5 to 6 seconds downtime, and here it is. They're going to go for this, I think.
Warlock doing what he can, though. The Illuminate. Damn.
Low, but he's got so much.
The heal coming in. Legion Commander trying to buy some time. Blinding Light coming back in. Swindle doing exactly what he can. There is going to be that Purify coming back in. The duel in the back lines onto the Bat Rider, but the Fire's doing a fair amount of work. There's the Chaotic Offering and the Guardian Angel. Right now, Cole, they aren't losing a whole lot here. Monkeys juking and jiving, keeping the rest of EHOME occupied. There is going to be a charge coming to connect onto 2. Z-Freak, he's got pretty much no mana, is able to cast out whatever he can. The Torrent comes in, connects onto Starter, and cancel. He's getting low, but the regen is enough right now. It looks like he will be able to get out alive, so Complexity don't drop anyone in that fight, and everything from EHOME is dumped out.
That was amazing for Cole. The fact that nobody died there, huge juke from Monkeys there to change direction as soon as the blink was coming. Great target firing to try to grab the Omni Knight when his repel was on cooldown, but they didn't quite commit everything. I don't know if there was a low mana on Z-Freak or his boat was on cooldown, but they needed to land the boat with that initial combo. Probably was on cooldown though. So really good attempt to get a kill, but the fact that EHOME blew their Infernal ulti, they dueled somebody, they used SB ulti, and they still didn't get a kill, that's a really good sign for Cole.
Yeah, Guardian Angel as well. We saw that.
Yeah, but the problem is that almost all of Cole's damage actually is magical, with the exception of like
Elk
Tiny.
chewing at you and Tiny bobbing you.
Yeah, exactly. That's about it. But a lot of that is magic. They're gonna try to catch cancel here.
This could be a really important kill as Chemical Rage wearing a little bit low. They've got Old Chicken there. Old Chicken though, he's not exactly the healthiest. He's going to be having to fight underneath the acid spray, and now it looks like Cancel. He's the one on the aggressive, the Radiance, doing a fair amount of burn damage. He can actually keep up here. Old Chicken cannot blink
The
away.
range creeps.
Alright.
He's got armlet, so he can stay alive for sure, but
Monkeys moving forward. Flame Break coming in. They're buying a little bit of time. The Lasso comes in onto Garter. It looks like that Spirit Breaker is no more. The boat coming in, not going to connect onto Old 11. Old 11 will be able to walk away safely, but Complexity might be able to get the tower. The top back. Tiny is a machine here, and they're going to finish off the Legion as well. Looks like the Mana Leak will be enough, and there they go. What a successful fight for Complexity. This is an entirely different team that showed up to game number 2. They're fighting together, their communication's on point, and they're styling on EHOME, one of the strongest teams in the scene right now.
yeah, EHOME put all of their eggs into one basket, and that was grabbing Omni Knight to beat Batrider in the 1v1, and he accomplished that, but the issue is that there was just too many other kills on the other lanes. Maybe their greed was too heavy. The Legion hasn't gone off to a good start. He hasn't got dual damage. He's not having a good game.
And then we're going to see if Complexity is able to back off in time. Sylar now coming in, easy pickings onto Swindle, and they're looking for Monkeys as well. Monkeys, he has his blink, so it's not like he's going to use crazy amounts of gold, but they do feed a duel to Old Chicken. So Complexity maybe overstay their welcome a little bit, but they're still feeling very much in charge.
And that's one place where I'm worried for them. I feel like they don't have as much map movement discipline as a team like EHOME does, so despite them taking this early gold advantage, mistakes like that will cost them the game in the long run. But I still have a lot of faith in an Alchemist. He's got great Ags targets. The Kunkka Ags is surprisingly good, kind of acting like an RP and a boat. The Ags on Batrider is wonderful, same as Kardel. So, and because Cancel's having a great game and is actually positive in KDA, that's why it's so hard for his opponents to kill him in the first place.
Our Anti-Mage here, definitely deviating from the typical Anti-Mage build, not going straight to the Manta style, instead stopping for the Lincoln Sphere. Oh, Kunkka could be in some serious trouble here. Z-Freak just going to be in the wrong place at the wrong time. Warlock going in with that Shadow Word. Toss back in though. They get a nice avalanche through the Mana Leak as well. They're going to get the stun off on the Sphere Breaker. The boat coming in connected to the two. Oh man, Monkey's laying down the fire. The Guardian Angel cannot help you now. Cancel is still alive. Sylar trying to get at him, but the Flame Break attempting to stop things out. Sylar still going in. Will get the kill on the Alchemist. Now focusing attention onto Swindle. This could be a charge as well. I don't think Kardel gets out of this one alive. Sends off a final Illuminate, but move, get the triple man avalanche. Nice forward to follow up as well. The toss back. They get the Omni Knight. They're looking for Garter as well. They find it. It's only Sylar left alive. He blinks forward, trying to stay aggressive here. Z-Freak may lose his life. Can he set up for this support? To try to stop Sylar is not going to be effective. He's able to blink back in, but Monkeys Forever follows him right back up, and they are able to burn the Anti-Mage's Aegis. I don't think they want to stick this one out and fight him a second time, but Complexity, they're doing it.
They're actually doing it here. The survivability of Alk is so big. They dueled him, but he survived through the whole duel duration by himself, while the rest of the Complexity team was busy in other places. That's a massive advantage. Now, Anti-Mage does have a lot of farm. He's got the Lincolns. That's mainly going to stop. Lasso and X marks the spot. Huge counters to his hero. He's kind of forced to go with this build. But if Cole can get into their next items immediately following what they have currently, they should have an advantage over AM, because right now his damage is okay, it's good, but and his survivability is good, but his damage is not insane like it typically is with a Manta style and an Ultra followed up.
I mean, he's going to have the Manta up pretty shortly. It's not going to be too big of a window that Complexity have to continue their punish. I want to talk a bit about Tiny's build here. He opted to go for the Shadow Blade after that Blink Dagger, really prioritizing mobility.
Yeah, it's kind of an interesting choice, but the important reason that it's good is because he can actually look for kills by himself. So the heroes he's looking for are Warlock and Omni Knight primarily. If he can start the fight with Avalanche Toss comboing those guys and then throwing him to his allies, then that'll allow his allies to kill the Omni before they have to deal with Repel. Burst damage is a great solution to Omni. You don't have to use things like Diffusal Blade. Obviously, Diffusal is great, but killing the Omni oftentimes just as good.
Would you go for a Silver Edge on the Tiny just to get that, big old
Absolutely.
breaker? Okay.
It's great against Spirit Breaker, it's great against Legion, it's great against Anti-Mage, even good against Omni. That's 3 huge passives that you can disable.
And definitely something Complexity are looking for, but it is going to mean the Ags on Tiny is going to be coming out much later than typical.
Ags is mostly good on Tiny. It's a great farming item, but in some cases, just going single target is better.
Complexity are hunting. They're going to use the Kardel recall to get more bodies into the fight. Now they ping out Slark. It's such an ambitious target. They're going to find Old 11 as a consolation prize, but just sending the Illuminate in to clear out this wave and perhaps some chip damage onto the tier 2 is exactly what Complexity wants.
Definitely possible. Also, another reason Mushin by Ags, Alchemist can buy for him.
Oh
actually.
yeah, there we go. Some
So-
decent Ag shares in this team.
So basically, if you look at Tiny's net worth right now, he's at 97. If you add a 4.1k to that, he's close to Anti-Mage in terms of farm. And at some point, Alch will be out of items that he can buy. So absolutely for now, Move focuses on those single target items, maybe gets an Echo Saber, Silver Edge, and then if Cancel can throw an Ags on top of that, he's going to do pretty comparable damage to Anti-Mage in team fights.
What's your opinion on Kunkka Ags?
It's honestly good, really. I don't know, have you seen it before in a pub?
Oh yeah.
It just people travel with the boat, you know? It allows you to not have to be as forced into using Ghost Ship in combo with like an X thing.
Yeah.
You can just throw it where they are. You can probably even interrupt an SB charge with it. There's a lot of valuable things that he can abuse out of it.
With a Bat Rider as well, you kind of get like 2 lassos, and it's a lot of control in these team fights. EHOME have a lineup that kind of wraps around, they really like to be the initiators here. Legion wants to blink and find her own dual target. Spirit Breaker wants to choose his charge target. Anti-Mage wants to be able to blink freely, so if you control them up, if you lasso them and bring an Ags Kunkka boat...
You can get this kill maybe. Because he only jumps in on the
Oh, it's looking tough. Old Chicken has a decent amount of HP,
Okay,
but they get the lasso as well. The Armlet can't save you now. Now they're looking to get the kill onto Swindle, but nice blinding light buys himself some time. Warlock doing what he can to slow down the Keeper of the Light. They will get that kill, but Monkeys is still alive. They're channeling up a stun here on Cancel. They are able to do a decent amount of damage onto Garter. It looks like Garter charging back in, but he's standing in the fire. Will get killed by the Warlock, and now Monkeys in some trouble. Will fall. Sylar gets the better of that engagement. Blue getting low. He has no more mana to work with here. Acid Spray from the Alch trying to buy some time. Cancel channeling up that stun. Lincoln Spear popped on Sylar, but it seems like the chase will end for now. Switching targets onto Z-Freak.
Also low.
Oh, yeah, it's
Mage needs more ultimates here. Cancel. Ooh. They're going for Z-Freak. This is good for Cancel, though. I think they should change targets now for
no, he's going to get a torn off. He's going to connect on 2. He does lose his life. And unfortunately, no more follow-up from Complexity. They're going to lose this mid-tower.
Yeah.
Great attempt from Complexity, but just a little bit mistimed.
Yeah, their kill on the Legion was good, but it forced the rest of them to commit, and they don't quite have the items that they need to be as effective here. Looks like Octarine Core's up for the Alch, not going to be an Ags just yet. Good choice. He's got to keep his ultimate on a lower cooldown. More Manta images, more acid sprays, more stuns, all that stuff will make a big difference. If they were just a little bit more farmed, I think that would have been okay. A Silver Edge on Tiny at that moment, for example, if he used the Invis to hit the AM, but if that's the Silver Edge, breaks his passives, makes him do less damage, allows him to actually fight the AM. But right now, they can't fight the AM, that's the issue. And he just stays alive and keeps doing damage to supports.
Yeah, the AM's only going to get bigger, but it seems like Complexity might be able to get the tools they need to deal with him pretty shortly. We're at
They are, but the problem is that letting him get kills right before you get those tools is a mistake.
Yeah.
So the fact that they killed the Legion was cool, but at some point, you can't let them get advantages, because AM is almost farming as fast as Alchemist, and that's mostly from hero kills.
Yeah, I like that Sylar's playing a very patient game. He's not too eager to get in these fights. He's 6-0-7, so when he goes in, when he actually interacts with Complexity, it's always a positive exchange for him. Now down bottom, Alch unfortunately might be in some trouble here. Chaotic Appering going to be coming back in.
Oh, the upheaval is really smart. He has to throw it on that. That's too late.
Yeah, I don't think Campbell's so great. He's dead.
It was very close. If he would have chosen to go for the upheaval instantly, he would have been absolutely fine there, but he hesitated for a couple seconds, and that meant it delayed the time that he interrupted the upheaval. So, pretty big mistake there from him, actually. That was a big death.
We've got our Warlock. Looks like he's picked up the first component of the Ags, but stopped him to go back in for, looks like a Glimmer Cape.
Yeah, I think he's just doing this because he wants the extra survivability. Not a bad thing to do on a Warlock. By the time it takes to finish your Ags, you have all of this raw HP and items you can't really hold. So just stopping back at a point booster I think is a good choice. But EHOME definitely getting a lot of advantage in the last couple minutes, both pushing themselves more into trying to take lanes when their opponents aren't there. And I think they maybe could have just... I mean, they didn't want to fight, basically. They thought they'd split push to get farm while their core is farmed, but it's just led to too many EHOME kills. I think it might have been better if they kept doing pressure.
You can see on that net worth chart complexity, they had a really nice lead the last couple of minutes, but the big kills, like Alchemist is still dead from that last kill.
Yeah.
So it's looking tough. When he's not on the map farming and Sylar is, that is a huge disadvantage for complexity.
So the thing that Cole has to look out for right now is probably the next Roche. If EHOME's able to take the Roche, then that gives them another high ground advantage. Something Cole can try to play around, but based on how strong the AM is right now, it's pretty scary to play against that. So they need to get their big items in a moment. Looks like they're going to go for AC on Tiny next. It's a good choice, just armor advantage against all the physical from EHOME. And then they need to take a fight, win the fight, take Roche. That's going to be their goal here.
Alchemist, I mean, do you think he's going to be sinking the Aghanim Scepter after his Octarine is finished, or?
Possible. I think Ashivas could be argued for. It could be a really amazing item this game just because of all the attack speed reduction on his enemy heroes.
Yeah, just where you're stunting the Tiny if you leave him without an Ags too long.
That's the next problem, absolutely. The faster he gets Ags means that Tiny farms faster. So I guess in a lot of ways I agree with you. I think Ags is better because it'll accelerate the Tiny, whereas Shivas would just help them team fight better. Kardel finishing his own Ags, just saving Alk some money there, which is a good plan. Kardel can certainly pick up that item on his own accord.
Yeah, there's not much else you really need to go for in a Kardel to be useful. He's got some flexibility, but Ags is really a staple to how you make that support into a huge high-value target.
Yeah, absolutely. Things like Force Glimmer can be really good sometimes, but when your opponent duels you, neither of those items actually help you too much. So
here's that next Roche. He talked about Anti-Mage just taking it on. I mean, Slark feels almost invincible right now. He is just slotted up. He's going to be picking up his Abyssal fairly shortly, and on top of Immortality. How do you kill the Anti-Mage now?
Well, they could still do it. They just have to focus a lot of spells on him. Break his Lincolns. He's got Abyssal Blade as well. Man, that's pretty scary. The supports especially are the ones that do it. Now they want to kill him. Once he gets Abyssal, they can kill him off. He can kill the supports a lot easier. But mostly just deal with the other heroes. The Warlock can kill him, kill Spirit Breaker, kill Omni Knight. In some ways they can leave Legion around since he's not very farmed right now. But then afterwards you have to kill the hand. Take that damage out of the game. Honestly, they're not even going to give Aegis to Sylar. I think they put on one of the other heroes. Okay, they're playing it real safe here. Maybe overly safe, but I just don't even see them killing the aim in the first place. But maybe they're thinking, if Sylar does die with the initial focus, it ruins everything for a fight. So they're going to continue playing it safe.
Yeah, it feels like Sylar is pulling a ton of weight, and he's really what's going to keep his team relevant into the late game. And
yeah.
I mean, he is just completely untouched again. Still 6-0-7. He's playing this incredibly disciplined.
Yeah, he really is. The Lincoln's change was very smart here. They could kind of try top. I guess it's only Batrider Kunkka. If there was a Kardel here, he could recall, obviously, but not going to see that, I suppose. Pushing the lanes out, Z-Freak and try to do the opposite thing as well, using an illusion to keep the creep wave in one place and counter pushes that one. Pretty easy to do as a Kunkka. Very common thing for Z-Freak.
Alright, Monkeys, he's going to be flapping around. He's got his Blink Force, and he is going to get recalled into the rest of his group, so looks like Complexity, they're looking for Smoke Gang, just grouping up and pushing in a lane.
Don't quite have the AC yet, 300 gold away. I'm certainly farming a lot slower than the other heroes. Sylar is in the position, though. They can break Lincoln's force stat, that's why the Monkey's force is so big. They definitely can try to kill Sylar if they want the Aegis. And the repel, and the heal, all kind of come out.
I mean, at this point, EHOME can kind of transition into everyone protects Sylar. I think that's not a terrible idea. Legion feels a bit underwhelming at this point. Her duels have not been ultra successful, hasn't been ganking around a fair amount. Complexity staying as a tight-knit group, but I mean, Anti-Mage has more than enough damage and sustainability to really carry him forward.
Yeah, he's got Blink Dagger and Armlet on the Legion Commander. Looks like we might have a BKB flying out. But
Smoke gank. You can hear EHOME getting visibly excited in the land center right now as they're, predicting something's going down. The rest of Complexity trying to sneak around, wrap through the river.
Their scan spotted it out, so Monkeys is going to blink away here. They're a little spread out on the map, but it is also daytime. That's a big moment here. The first daytime, I believe, that they've had on Cole's side while having Ags on the Keeper of the Light. Ooh, El Chicken's going to maybe grab somebody.
He's thinking about it. Sylar's actually one to move forward with that repel on him. Not taking a whole lot of damage from that Illuminate, just going back to working on the tower. And that thing's going down pretty fast. Monkeys Forever goes in, but easy Manta, and Sylar is not too phased.
Yeah, they're staggering those skill usages a little slow there. Gotta break the Lincolns at the same time that they go for the lasso, otherwise Sylar can easily anticipate that. They can't let them take an easy racks here. This is very important for Cole. They break the Lincolns again, but it will be off cooldown shortly. They're even putting the heal on Sylar in anticipation of the combo.
Feels like right now Cole is just lacking damage. The Tiny's not on the front lines, and your Alchemist, he's just sitting there near the rune spot.
Alright, he's coming back.
There we go. This is probably the start of it. Sylar, though, moving in aggressively. There is going to be an avalanche. Can they keep Sylar locked down on the backline? There is going to be a duel on the Alchemist. It's an ambitious target. And there is going to be a chaotic offering drop down on top of this move. He's like tanky, and there's too much here. It looks like Complexity are starting to get burned down. EHOME swinging right back into this off the back of a fed. Anti-Mage Monkeys Forever will be cleaned up next. Or, no, flapping back. Gets a rare moment of mercy from EHOME, but certainly not going to be able to deal with the push on the racks.
The Anti-Mage is just so hard to kill with an Omni Knight backing him up. EHOME's strategy finally accomplishing itself, and it gets Sylar almost impossible to kill. And it's definitely succeeding. They just can't stop the Repel, and the Lincoln, and the Blink, and the Warlock heal. It's so difficult. He just did a little too well in the early team fight. Cole needed to fight.
Oh, the Abyssal dropped out. They're just going right back in for Swindles. Blinding Light, keeping him temporarily safe, but Sylar can still move forward. His Lincoln is going to be popped, but that's not slowing him down. He still wants to munch on this reindeer.
Okay, Mana Leak at least, that'll help.
Oh, meanwhile, Alchemist trying to man up here, but there's just too many
what a boat!
heroes. The boat is a fantastic hit by Z-Freak, but is it going to be enough here to really stall out the damage from EHOME? They lose Monkeys Forever. It looks like he does have buyback if he needs to get back into this, but his lasso's on cooldown still. Swindles this time will be finished off by Sylar. There's a gem on the deck. Cancel going in, trying to man up on the Anti-Mage. He's trading fairly evenly for now. The Torrent helping him out. Can Sylar brings away? He is able to do some, but the Axe brings him right back in. They break the Aegis. Can they lock him down for a second life? Looks like the toss back up. They break his Lincoln. He is able to blink back down to the low ground, and Old 11 can keep him safe. Meanwhile, Garter just coming in, keeping Moo locked down.
The Lincoln's blocked something important. It might have been X, might have been something else, but Cancel held his stun a little too long there. That could have been a kill. Looks like Tiny going on somebody. It's going to be Spirit Breaker in trouble. Probably dead here.
Yeah, one more smack. That is an easy kill. You could see Complexity on the map. They are just charged, and they want to all in mid right now. Just really get some sort of advantage in this rare moment of peace while Legion and Spirit Breaker are still dead.
Especially because the Anti-Mage's Aegis is gone, they finally have an opportunity to kill him with enough focus. He does go for the Shiva's Guard to give his allies some help. It's actually massive against illusion-based heroes like AM, because all of his illusions are going to attack much slower now. It's less mana drain, less mobility, less damage from EHOME.
So no Ags for our Tiny just yet, but speaking of Ags, our Warlock picks us up, so we've got double the fun coming in next time the Chaotic Offering's dropped.
It's definitely good. I wouldn't say it's amazing this game in some ways. It increases your damage by 50% for them, double immolation I believe. But it's really more about can they kill AM. AM is almost everything on EHOME right now, so kill backline, then kill AM, or kill AM through all of the disables. That's how they win this game. Cole can still do it. They're down one rack set, but their farm is still not bad in comparison.
Yeah, this Legion, it feels like she's just continually falling behind. Her duels are not stacking up because, I mean, they have to go and let Sylar do the heavy lifting. She's just not big enough, and that discrepancy is only going to get bigger as it goes on. She's got 20 damage, or 20 bonus damage for herself at 36.
Yeah, that's a more typical Legion game when Legions get picked, actually. But the duel has been kind of useful, but there were so few good duel targets all game, actually. Tiny attacks slow, Bat Rider attacks slow. He doesn't get as many reflects as he normally would have.
Alright, Sylar just keeping things controlled, munching through the Manta of the Alchemist, and, well, there's a smoke gank down to the bottom lane. They'd sure love to get themselves some tier 3s.
SB picking up a Vlad's as well, but Alk is officially 6 slotted. The only thing he can swap out, obviously, is the Armlet, but he'll keep it for now.
He can go boost his travel level 2.
Yeah, pretty irrelevant as a whole, though. Unless they get control of the map, then it becomes useful. But right now, where they got to defend, doesn't matter. Ags is definitely the next pickup for him. It may be Tiny, it may be Bat Rider, it could be Z-Freak, but I think the Ags on Tiny is the way to go. He's got Shadow Blade, he's got AC, he's ready to DPS.
Sylar gonna start things out with his siege up onto the high ground, healed up by the Shadow Word, and he's got the Manta if he wants to bring in a couple more Anti-Mages.
So tough without defeat.
Sylar
Oh, they got him.
Oh, the toss back in. He's going to be X, though. Looks like they are just trying to bring him back out. That's actually really unfortunate. A little bit of miscommunication, mistiming there from Z-Freak. Now, Abyssal dropped out onto our Alchemist. They are going to get the lift back up, and they will get the kill on the Spirit Breaker, so no more reinitiation. Looks like Old Chicken going to be blinking back. That BKB charge is down, so that's Legion Commander losing a little bit of use out of her next item.
Honestly, moderately big mistake there for Cole. They tried to use X to break the Anti-Mage, but the lasso was great, and they wanted to pull him back to the tier 4s and then disable him from there, but they just couldn't once the X was called. They still did get the SP though. Whenever Anti-Mage uses a crucial, whenever anyone on EHOME uses a crucial skill on Alchemist, it's always going to be good for Cole. Because he's not going to die. He's very difficult to kill now with the Shivas. Massive HP increase, or survivability increase, and lots of attack speed reduction. So that was when Cole needed to go in. And they still can fight. They just don't have Lasso this time. They don't have Boat either.
Cancel gonna get recalled. Looks like EHOME, they're still posturing up, maybe wanting to go back in. Spearbreaker can of course charge back into the fight, and as soon as he respawns, we'll get there quite quickly.
They're gonna hit him. He's actually taking pretty good physical damage.
Sylar, he's getting low, he's able to blink back to safety, but the avalanche clips on him. They do get the heal coming back in. And with the X, that's gonna be a nice easy kill. Oh, the Guardian Angel finds Warlock in time, and he's got the ult, and that's gonna be 2 golems for the price of one coming into Old Lanham. Still gonna be alive. Looks like the rest of the focus will switch back onto the Anti-Mage. He's gonna get launched down, trying to blink away, but that's gonna be his corpse blinks away. They've got what they need here. Complexity just need to not die here. They need to not lose anything else. Cancel chasing after Old Chicken again. The Radiant's doing some serious work. Meanwhile, they're getting everything they want. Everyone but the Omni Knight is going down. Complexity now have a huge window to charge up the mid, get exactly what they need. I mean, look at Cancel right now. He's already up into the creep wave, tapping on the tier 3s now.
He's trying to do some damage to the barracks, and they force an AM buyback. That's really big here. Giant fight for them. All they lost was a tier 3. They also lost a Bat Rider buyback.
That was amazing by Complexity.
Amazing fight for them by all means. The Warlock initiation looked so bad. Great save from the Omni Knight, but EHOME is really starting to lack damage. You can see that. But the defusal pickup now on Z-Freak. He's got Blink Dagger too. He can defusal whenever he wants from safety. So now, especially if he can hide that item before AM shows for the next kind of siege push, it's going to be amazing for them.
Yeah, I mean, if Complexity end up winning this game, that last fight is pretty much a huge turning point. That's when Complexity just blasted through the window, and now they're going in, and it's their time to shine. There's 1 or 2 buybacks left on everything here. Spearbreaker and Tiny are the only ones that can get themselves back into this game.
They gotta keep Cancel's mana up a bit though. He's currently vulnerable to AM ultis, but they're doing some barracks damage. They're playing it pretty safe though. They would prefer to grab a lasso initiation, or maybe grab the AM.
At this point, you have that choice. Do you focus the AM and let the rest EHOME try to control the rest of your lines, or do you try to get the control heroes out?
I mean, definitely kill the AM. Use the Diffusal Blade to break the link or the Repel and go for the kill. They've also got Ags up on the Tiny. He also has a DD picked up, one of the best Tiny items in the...
Oh, here we go. Blink forward here. Really strange initiation from the Legion, just trying to make the fight happen. Sylar coming back in, gets the kill to Swizzle. Now Old
really
Chicken
bad for Tiny.
in some trouble. Tiny gonna get bopped around here. The boat coming in though. Isn't gonna be a hero boat. They do get the Spearbreaker down. He divides right back in. Another interesting Manta from Sylar. He's gonna be blinking back up to the high ground. They're focusing down Old Chicken now. He's gonna get X back in. They should find a Legion kill here. They focus the Omni Knight down as well. It looks like it. They buy back on the Tiny, and Tiny should be able to get himself right in. They buy back on the Omni Knight as well.
They've got creeps in
They're
their
going for the tier 4s. Cancel not messing around here. Sylar moving in. There is going to be some tier 4 damage coming in. The racks are down on the side of the ring. They're going in. Sylar, it's a serious trouble. The Guardian Angel comes up, trying to buy them 6 times. Garter comes in. The charge connects with the Blenny. There's going to be a flame break coming back out. The Abyssal drop. They break that defusal. He's going to be mana leaked up. And now that Lincoln's gone as well. Monkeys Forever taking some serious damage. But Cancel. Can he focus down Sylar? Can he trade possibly? I don't know. The Alchemist, he cannot afford to go down. He tries to swimmer cape out, but will go out. There's going to be a buyback onto the Alchemist. Can he get himself back in? Moo looking to turn this around. Anti-Mage flipped all over the map. And now there is going to be a stun coming back in. Warlock Golem is dropped. It looks like Z-Freak might be the only hope. They are able to get down the Omni Knight, and they're just now focusing down the Golems. They can still move forward. Z-Freak gets the X off onto Sylar. He's going to have his Lincolns back up in 1 second, but can they focus him down? The Torrent coming back in. The Lincoln's off. Is this going to be it here? They are going to be able to recall it everything they need, and it looks like they're going to be able to kill the Anti-Mage, the tier 4s.
I think they got it.
Complexity have done it here. Good game called out. We're going to game number 3.
Oh man, what a fun game to watch. Cole on the back foot because of how farmed the Anti-Mage was, but eventually their nukes and their stuns and their early gank got them to a point that they could actually beat the one superhero. And EHOME takes a loss in game 2, making this a close series.
I think